Today we're going to talk about dependent events, and that means when the outcome of one event impacts the outcome of another. It's then called a dependent event. The one event depends on the other one. So if you had the M&Ms and you took one out and you ate it, it changes the amount of M&Ms in the bowl. So then it's dependent. When you flip two coins and one lands on heads and one lands on tails, it doesn't matter what the first one landed on. It's not affecting what the second one. If you had a football team and you had 10 players and the first player got picked to be captain, now you have 9 players left, not 10 for co-captain. You draw a joker from a deck of cards, then you draw an ace. Well, the joker's out of 52 cards and the ace is out of 51. So those are dependent. You draw a queen from a deck of cards, replace it, and then draw 10. So that's independent because you put it back in. And a coin is flipped and a number cube is rolled. They have nothing to do with each other. You don't change the odds. So independent probability is the probability of A times the probability of B. Dependent probability is when you take the probability of A and then that changes the amount in B. So it's the probability of B after you take A out. So dependent and independent just mean, have you changed the odds? If you've taken something out and not put it back in or not replaced it, then you've changed the odds. If you're rolling a die and then rolling it again, it's not like you wipe the number that you got the first time off of the die. So you haven't changed the odds. In these two problems, you're determining the probability of the events, and you're taking it as if you do not replace the first thing. It doesn't say it in these problems, and it really should. So you do not replace the first thing you're taking out. I think you should be able to do it at that point. On this page of problems, you're using the numbers at the top and you are answering the questions down below, including number 10 at the bottom. So once you go to the top, I wrote some information up there for you. A prime number only has 2 factors, itself and 1. So, and you have to remember that 1 is not considered prime or composite. Composite numbers are all the numbers that aren't prime. And divisible means that it can be divided by another number and the answer is a whole number. It's not a decimal. So if you look at the first one, you're drawing an odd number. So your first event would be the odd number, would be 1, 9, 1. So you would have 3 out of the 8 total. And then you take that one out because it says you do not replace it up in the directions. And now you have to draw a 6. Well, there are 3 6s, but there's only 7 cards left. So it'd be 3 out of 7. So you're multiplying 3/8 times 3/7. So I think you should be all set. It does help in these specifically because you're not asked to do a decimal and a percent, but you need to have a simplified fraction. So it does help for you to simplify the fractions before you multiply.